Jody, yo, you tis I. You already know who it is. You already know. It's your boy. It's Whistly. Hello. Anyways, it's raining and I don't want to get my phone wet, but I'm here to review Doctor Who. It's a brilliant, awesome franchise, which is one of the greatest television shows of all time, which will never end. It'll just continue to be goaty. It's just brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It has a cult following because it's just super smart and super well done and super fun. There's nothing like Doctor Who. There will never be anything as Doctor Who. I am absolutely a Whovian. I like the old Doctors with the, not Tom Baker. I think it's, I forget. I don't have my other phone. The guy with the vest, the golf vest, and the hat, and the tan jacket. He's one of my favorite Doctors. Jodie Whittaker, I just watched Jodie Whittaker, fantastic. Even though the writing was kind of mid, but it was okay. Overall, it was okay. But it opened up a lot of new doors. David Tennant obviously is the best Doctor. I did enjoy Christopher Eccleston. Right now, I'm watching Capaldi. He wasn't that bad. He's kind of old, but he's good, he's old, but he's not as peppy as all the other Doctors are like peppy, and they have they're very extra, and Capaldi's not as extra, but he's still really good, and I'm enjoying it. Stephen Moffat, Russell T Davies, and Chris Chibnall. Fantastic writers. I think Chibnall is probably the weaker writer, but Stephen Moffat was kind of sloppy. And Russell T Davies had highs and lows, so everyone has strengths and weaknesses. But I think what Chris Chibnall did, he opened up the door. He made it way more fun than the previous writers. There's a lot of low spots, but I think overall there's so much opening for Doctor Who going forward. I think it's just so much more fun now. I think Russell T Davies was brilliant and exciting, and a rush of excitement and just fascination. He's just hitting all your senses. You're like, wow, Russell T Davies was very euphoric, very fun, and he had the young doctors to really he had David Tennant to really helm his ship, versus Matt Smith and Stephen Moffat and Capaldi and Stephen Moffat. It's he had good episodes, but his bad episodes were like night and day. So it's all right, is he on or off today? And you're just clicking the button. You're like, hey, which one? Are you on or off? But anyways, I think I just made the lighting higher, which I didn't know I can do. That's too dark. Oh. Anyways, now I can do that. So, anyways, absolutely fantastic. I had a ball. I just watched Jodie Whittaker's, and it was she was fantastic. For the longest time I was like, man, Jodie Whittaker, they could have been someone more kooky. She's not kooky. She doesn't have that zany Doctor Who-isms. But she does still do a fantastic job. Easily one of my favorite Doctors. For me personally, I say top 2. Also, I'm a straight man, and she's an attractive woman. So, that also helps my case. But legitimately, without that, I think she's probably number 2. I think it's hard to beat Debbie Tennant. I think it's Jodie Whittaker. I like the old Doctor, the Davis guy. I forgot his name. Whatever. It's the guy. He had the golf sweater and then the vest. I forgot his name. I don't have time to look it up. He was blonde hair. He had Tegan and Adric and the other lady. Anyways, that was one of my favorite Doctors. Christopher Eccleston. And Jodie Whittaker, David Tennant. Those are my top 4, I think, Doctors. Tom Baker was good. What was I saying? I love Doctor Who. I completely love it, and everyone who has Doctor Who loves it too. Everybody wants a TARDIS in their house. I want $5 in my house as just my front garden gnomes. That'd be so cool. Anyways, I really can go on and on, but like I love the brilliance and excitement that Doctor Who brings. I love how it's so euphoric, and just it's like I think I've been talking about this or just thinking about this. Like all the top movies, like the big money making franchises. I'm scratching my head, so I have to put my umbrella in a position. Anyways, all the top movie universes are bringing a lot of money. Avatar, total world building. Pirates of the Caribbean, total world building. Marvel's Avengers, total world building. You're talking about like detailed characters in the entire world. And that's something Doctor Who does on a bad day, On an off day, it creates the Ood. The greatest supervillain in movie television history is a Dalek, okay? It's just this better than the Joker, better than stinking Darth Vader, better than whoever you got. The greatest villain is, without a doubt, is a Dalek. The Master is one of the best villains, just up there with dadgummit, Sherlock Holmes villain, Moriarty, one of the best villains. And that's the thing too. It's like sometimes you can only bring something to the level. It's like you're only as good as your hero sometimes, and sometimes your hero is only as good as your villain. And Doctor Who has the best villains. The Cyberman, the Centaurs are interesting. There's so many elements that never stop, and they're all like 5-star dimes that are in Doctor Who. That just it's just a prolific show of greatness, of interesting things, and masterful world building from other planets, from other ideas, and they can have these gigantic euphemisms. And that's what I like with the new Chris Chinabal. Like, there's a lot of euphemisms for LGBT stuff, for women's rights and things like that. Or I actually think he just it's like Doctor Who's so great. Even something that's mediocre or it's okay, it's still wonderful and still a good experience. I love the companions. I love the concept of Doctor Who. David Tennant and what is it? Russell T Davies. I think he set the tone. He set the tone for just, there's no rules, just set the balls to the wall type thing. And I think most of that was David Tennant just being absolutely brilliant, tearing the walls down, and just, putting everything he is into the cast, into the character. He's so exciting, and he brings so much, he brings so much to the role, and it's not even something about, it's just very euphoric. I'm not trying to sound weird, but it is very euphoric. It's just like it's just high, of this excitement of new things. You're always drawing you in and keeping you going, and you got the Ood, and then you got the Cyberman, and then you got, the Vashta Naradi, and then you have the Weeping Angels, It's just banger after banger after banger. And Steve, or I forgot his first name, but Paulie did a wonderful job. And you have the Rose Tyler angle, and Matt Smith was alright. I know a lot of the ladies were like, or gay men were like, it's Matt Smith. I didn't really care. I thought he was kind of a dick. So I didn't really care for Matt Smith, but I thought he was serviceable. He's a doctor and he did his job. Okay, I thought the actor who did good. All the actors are spectacular. I think Jodie Whittaker is the best actor. No cap, without a doubt. I think she's the best actor, acting chops. The best doctor is David Tennant. I don't know. I can go on and on. Even the old school. If you just start watching a bunch of old school Doctors Who's, it's so good. And I was looking up research stuff on like how it came to be and all the information like that in the history of Doctor Who. And it was like an educational show, and that's how it really came about. They had like they're going to call it the mutants after the Daleks, after these mutant Dalek thingies, but they ended up having the show, and then they did so. Then it was blew up. Then it was so again, and then like at 2003 when they made the new version, that's when they blew up another one, and that's when it really had life. But I think it's all really marvelous. It's like there's no limits. You have a time machine. A TARDIS is time relative in dimension space, whatever it stands for. It's like, you literally have a mechanism to go anywhere, to do anything, to explore any universe, anything. And there's like, you literally have limitless stories of interesting things that's not Earth, that's not human. And even when they have Earth and human stories, you are blown away all the time. Even if the episode is like garbage, you're still amazed by, like, it's still world building, you know? Like, people are just thinking up these things. You're being entertained. I think that's the grandness of Doctor Who. You're always entertained to like the max, you know? And no one else does what Doctor Who does. No one else's comparison. And someone was saying about like Torchwood being kind of too American, and I definitely saw that. I didn't watch a lot of Torchwood. I barely watched a little, but I knew what they mean. It was like a little too American because, like, you know, friends, like the education in UK is the education is the best in the world, or one of the best in the world. But I think it's just really like they have really good teaching, and they have really good comprehensive teaching to the students and people. And you just see the brilliance, you know, the comprehensive thought of Doctor Who that is very, very UK. Like, it's just like, when they ask a question or they say something, it's normally or like when you have an episode, it's very comprehensive. It's like, oh, it stopped raining, so I can take this thing off. But it's just very like 360 and 4D and 5D, you know. It's just very well-rounded, well-dimensioned, just thoughts. You know, I think I see a lot with, especially when I'm learning stuff, because I'm an avid learner and I'm always learning stuff. Everything comes every time there's something about the UK or some sort of UK teacher or something like that. It's so easy for me to understand because they're asking like these big brain questions in a simple format, and they allow you time to really register. So just shout out to the UK for bringing us Doctor Who, but shout out to the UK's education system, which I believe is the best in the world. And, you know, it's just so comprehensive. It's just so much, like, they're not going to, if they're ask a question about a blade of grass, but they're really talking about the entire field, and they're letting you register all these things. And I think that's one of probably one of the greatest strengths of Doctor Who. It's not just the brilliance and the new and the experience and the adventure and the cool concept and this masterful lore that is always pulling you in. It's also just, you know, they're asking questions, and they're letting you figure it out. They're letting you wander in the realm of what the answers could be, you know, and they never really tell you exactly, you know. One person makes a statement, one person gives their idea, one person gives their 2 cents, but you never get an answer, you know. It's just always this never-ending adventure, and it's always fun. It's like sometimes you like the companion, sometimes you don't. There's so many. Obviously, Rose Goldie, she got everything she wanted. But I don't know. They literally, I pretty much like every companion ever in Doctor Who. There's a couple I didn't like. There's a couple that I like, just like I got sold on to. But pretty much I liked for the most part. Maybe the older Doctors series, but the modern one, I love all the companions. I also love people and humanity, and that's also celebrated Doctor Who. I'm not like a Doctor Who aficionado, so I'm just kind of just rambling on, talking about my love of a masterful show. But anyways, that's all, folks. That's all, folks. Doctor Who, one of the greatest TV shows of all time. It's something that's just so fascinating, so interesting, so fun, and it's so unforgivingly beautiful. And brilliant. Yeah. So, I don't know. And I think, because I just watched the Jodie Whittaker, and I thought it was great. I thought the writing by Chris Chibnall was okay. I thought there was a lot of fun elements to it, which kept it interesting and kind of cleaned up Russell T Davies and Stephen Moffat's runs. Because their runs were kind of like static. Like, they were really... Russell T Davies was pretty much perfect. Obviously, there's lows, but, you know, we're humans. So I think you have to appreciate the lows with the highs. But I think Stephen Moffat had a good beginning and then ended kind of crappy. But I think Stephen Moffat really just put limiting things. Like, the episodes were good, but there's so much limiting factors and the lore he was building, where I think, like, Chris Chibnall was like, F this, take this off, take this off. You thought you had limited regenerations? Nah, son. Unlimited regeneration. You thought you had Gallifrey? No Gallifrey for you. I think it's great. And the guy who played the Master, the guy who played the Master for Jodie Whittaker, oh, dude, you killed it. He did such a good job. The dance, epic. I think Jodie Whittaker, she made her case, man. And I was a non-believer, but she absolutely knocked it out the park. And the crazy thing is, I think she has more. I think she could have took it to another level. And I'm ready for Netui. I forgot his last name, but I'm ready for the new doctor, the one who's black and gay. Okay, I forget his name. Sorry, I know it's Ncuti. Nektui something. I don't have my other phone, so I can't look it up, but I'm ready for it. I'm ready. He already looks like he's having a blast, and he might be one of the funniest, like having the most fun doctors after David Tennant. So let's just see. You know, and there's always something good to look forward when you're talking about Doctor Who. No matter what, there's always more, and it's always going to be great. Yeah, I love Doctor Who so much. It's just so fantastic. I'm glad I was able to rewatch the episodes, and I'm gonna be honored one day when I can like show my kids, yo, this is Doctor Who. This is the goatiness. Appreciate and enjoy. Anyways, I said I'm leaving before, but this time I'm leaving. October, signing out. Love, be happy, do something fun, and learn something.